there was a conspiracy to destroy black boys, I would say. The more we integrate, the more that we're losing ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we have another program called Leaders Serve. Because the best leader is one who serves their community. Social media can be a life-saving mechanism, like how you're using it.
Yeah.
Or it could be the destruction to hell.
Everybody needs to reach.
100%.
It's Egypt. 100%. And I'm not talking Sharm el-Sheikh and her the cat, because we're just going to sit in the resorts. No.
That's right, no.
I'm talking about we need to go and touch a pyramid.
That's right.
Go into the tombs.
That's right.
Valley of the Kings.
I believe in you and I believe in your vision. And this could be a lifesaver for brothers and sisters in the future. Real talk.
No pressure.
You're born with pressure. It takes a diamond to cut a diamond. Where you're going, what I'm seeing, beloved, you'll be made into a diamond.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Alicia Mullings and this is the Sense Only podcast. This podcast is for those who are tired of the noise, distraction and disconnection in the world. It's for those who know that we need to be the change that we need to see in the world. Today, my guest is so special. My guest has just flew in and come off the plane a couple of days ago and reached around here as a priority, and I feel honoured. This guest, once again, another person who you're so glad that you're living and you're in life and you're alive at the same time as them. Another person who I see is doing the work. This person encompasses everything that this podcast is about. This person received a call and took action. This person operates straight from his heart, straight from integrity, straight from mission, care for our people, and the list goes on. I am so honoured to have this person here. I respect this person and this is no gas. I respect this person on levels that I don't even think I can explain right now. I am honoured. I'm so over the moon to introduce to you the wonderful, the amazing, the general again, the one that is Brother Andrew Mohammad.
Bless my sister. And please allow me the opportunity to bring myself back down to solid earth. When you speak like that about myself, my beautiful sister, I'm humbled to be in your presence.
Thank you.
As I said, I've known you for many, many, many years. There's certain people who you don't have to speak to on a daily basis, but they're like your heart, you know. You can not speak to them for years, but as soon as you get that call or a text, yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you, sister, this is coming from my heart. I feel absolutely like a flea beside you. And I mean this seriously. It's not to make you laugh or anything like that. I'm just saying that as you were saying those words, I was thinking, sister, you're the one. You are the one. You've left a mark on my life. I don't know all about your life at all, but the little conversations that we've had in the past and the things I just remember about yourself, I've still got you down as my designer. You know what I'm trying to say? I knew that you got style, you got integrity. And the more that I learn about you, sister, I just thank Almighty God, Allah. I'm able to be in your presence in this time and in this place. So again, once I got that call, you're the only one I've seen since I've landed in the UK. I've not even seen my children.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's on that level. You called and I had to just salute and get on that train and bus and make my way across London to be here. So once again, thank you, Sister Alicia. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. You make me cry.
No, it's real talk, sister. It's real talk.
Oh,
real
my
talk.
goodness. Please tell the people who you are and what you do.
That is a good question. To be honest with you, sister, I wear so many hats. I do wear so many hats. I'm just a brother, born of Caribbean parents. My parents were from Jamaica, born in the UK, went to school, very average life. I had a fantastic childhood. My mum and dad, got a large family. Mum and dad looked after us very well. So I had a lovely childhood. And yet within that childhood, and I have to do like a post-mortem on myself, I lacked self-confidence. I was very happy, very, bouncy, I had lots of friends and whatever, okay? But deep down, I lacked confidence. I'm gonna get to your point in terms of who am I? But I just have to bring myself down to solid earth after your introduction. I'm serious. So very average, didn't believe in myself, no confidence, left school with very minimal exams, success at all. And from there, and hopefully we go into this a bit later on in our conversation, I managed to turn it around massively. And I realized that the only thing that limits us in our lives and in this universe is that aspect of believing in who we are, that self-success that emanates from self. Once I learned that secret, I realized that I could go out and do anything. So in answer to your question, Brother Andrew Mohammad, I run a company, a motivational company, which is taking me all over the UK, across Europe, across Africa, United States and what have you, UK. We do motivational workshops. We teach young children. We teach the parents. We teach the teaching establishment, teachers, mentors and what have you, okay? Outside of that, I was a part of establishing Young Leaders Academy, which we got the idea from America. In Milwaukee, there was a very successful Young Leaders Academy that was established there. We saw it on the Oprah Winfrey Show. My colleague and mentor, Ray Lewis, flew me out there, and we just kind of twigged it, the American style to the UK style. So now we have academies in East London, North London, South London, Lewisham, West London, Coventry, Milton Keynes, and so on. So it's like a whole network of Young Leaders Academy. We've been doing it for the last 20 plus years. So we work with that. At the same time, I've also built a resort in Africa. 11 apartments we have.
What? Which country?
In West Gambia, Gambia.
Okay.
In Gambia.
Okay.
Which is where I live now. I fly backwards and forwards from there. We also established the UK National Black Parents Association. We have over about 1,500 to 2,000 members on that, and we give them online support as well as monthly live webinars and seminars where we invite special guests in to help us grow together. The universe didn't give us a parenting book.
Right.
And so we have to each one teach one philosophy in terms of, better practicing of parenting and whatever, okay? So we bring in experts from different fields because as a community, we need to grow together.
100%.
We have to grow together. So in a nutshell, that is what I'd like to do. Also run a weekly, it's not a podcast, but it's an online show called The Hidden Truth. We do live events across the UK. In fact, we've got one coming up this next Saturday, We also do live Zoom shows. And within a short space of time, we became the #1 grassroots online event in Europe.
Wow.
Not just in the UK, yes. We attract anything between 600 to 1,000 per week.
Yeah.
On a Zoom. So it's not even like a YouTube or anything like that. This is live attendees coming in. And now we run it from West Africa, obviously, but we get people coming in from across Europe, Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands. We get people coming in from the Caribbean, Jamaica, choosing, and even as far as Russia, China, obviously across Africa and the United States. So that's been going on. We've been doing that non-stop since COVID started. So we just wanted a way of trying to get people to wake up, come together, and let's unite on a positive level.
Why did you have to ground yourself from that? This is incredible. This is what we need. I'll put you in the stratosphere. You need to stay there.
No, I need to bring myself right down because beside you, I feel like a little chihuahua. Just a little chihuahua, just barking.
Oh my God.
You're the one, and I'm not joking, sis. I think like yourself, from what I know of you, the Almighty has a mission for you. You're going to be very, very important in not just in the UK. I think that the path that you're leading towards, sister, is going to be very consequential. Not just for us in the UK, but I think you're going to have a massive impact in America and in the Caribbean. And from there, it's going to be around the world, And I think the Almighty God is guiding you in ways that sometimes you think, why did you allow this to happen to me? But down the line, you realize, oh my God, if it wasn't for me to learn that question or that experience, I couldn't even deal with this. You know what I mean? So I feel like yourself, sometimes we don't deserve it, but there's a bigger hand guiding us. And that's how I feel. It's not because of what I've done and who I am. There's an almighty hand that's guiding me, forgiving me for my sins and my, whatever. But it still just seems to guide me and protect me and allow me to do the work that I'm doing.
Thank you.
Real talk.
That means a lot. Literally, as I say, I sit here feeling emotional because it's like, if there's anyone in this world whose words penetrate hard in my soul, it's yours.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally, as I said, I shared with you before we turned on the camera that, no, I think, as I said, when I had my fashion business and things like that.
Yes, I remember that.
Over 10 years ago.
Yes.
And you was in one of your seminars, and you made me stand up and tell everybody about myself and what I was doing. And that was when I'd just come back from one of my international fashion shows that I was in. And I say that to say that was a key moment in you helping me to see myself.
Yes.
Because, because I'm such a go-getter and I stay just busy bee doing all the things.
Yes.
And I think very much at that time I was very much channeling just a regular person, normal, just this is what I do type of thing. And you made me stand up and be like, not only did you make me see myself, I was seen by yourself and other people, and I had to take a pause and be like, I'm actually doing stuff.
Yes.
Differently.
Yes.
And I've kind of held on to that, and as I said, until this day now, when I can get into a bit more of a space of reflection and actually give myself a little bit of a pat on the back.
Absolutely.
Which I have a lot of people in the world forcing me to do, because I just think.
Yes, they call it the power of reflection. There is a power to reflect, and it's very important, especially for people that are on a mission. People that are fast moving, people that have got ideas, people who've got entrepreneurial spirits. Sometimes where we lack in the struggle is that we don't have time, or we don't make time just to sit back and reflect. There's a power in that. And that is why they call it the rat race. They try to make sure that we're just so busy running from A to B to C to D, and before we know it, our life's finished. We haven't had time to say, hold on, let me step back, let me reflect. And that's one of the reasons why I did move back to the motherland. Where we're located in the Gambia is really proper rural area. It's not in the city centre. It's not where the hotels are or anything like that. You're just surrounded by nature. And all you can do all day is reflect.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I've realised now. I thought, wow, being in London, moving fast, jumping from this to that to this. But I've had time now to live with nature. I've got peacocks, I've got rabbits, I've got ducks, I've got cats, I've got dogs, I've got sulcata tortoises, the big ones.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surrounded by nature on my land. And I realized that this is the secret they never taught us. They've took us away from nature, and there's a power in that still. So as much as you're on that mission of success, and you are on it there, believe me, sis, you are on that mission, try to make time, for my humble opinion to you, that's all, to just sometimes reflect and see what you've done, because you're making waves.
Okay. Thank you.
No, real talk.
As I said, if I had a pound for the amount of people that tell me I need to just sit down and reflect.
Yeah. There's a power in it.
I hear you, and I hear you all. Everyone is, and I know it comes from a loving and caring place. Absolutely. When you all speak to me. Yeah, I do hear you and I do see you. And I will take heed. Because where my brain is at the moment, I'm like, I'll pause when I'm on the plane next week.
Exactly.
And I need to do better. Can't just pause on flights. Let's pause on the ground as well.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to just say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to everything that you have done, you are doing, and I know you're going to continue to do. And I don't, as much as I said what I said before in terms of I'm so glad that I'm alive the same time that you're alive to see your works.
Same here.
I definitely need to just say thank you for and give you your flowers, because you've done such amazing works. And as you just said, you're consistent with it.
Respect. In
your contribution. And I can definitely say from my heart, I feel safer in the world knowing there's people like you in the world on a safety thing, you know?
Yes, yes.
On different levels of safety.
Yes, I'm with you, sis.
But it's people like you who allow us to see ourselves and see the beauty in ourselves. And you unite us, you keep us connected, not only to ourselves, not only to each other as humans, but to our culture, to our history, to the works that you inspire me. You're one of the inspirations for me to know that I need to do this, my work as well.
Proud to.
You know, you continue to drop so many powerful seeds, and I know you drop it in so many lives where some people probably haven't even had the chance to even say it to you. So I'm saying from me to you, I'm saying it to you.
Bow to you,
you know?
Bow to you.
Thank you. You know, like, I know that if my son had lived, you're one of the men I would have sent him to. Literally. I'm like, learn this, man.
We're taught in the Holy Quran that never speak of the righteous as being dead. They are alive, but we perceive them not. No. So I never see your son as a past. I see him relevant now. He's in this conversation. He's in your heart. He's in your vision. He's in his grandparents' hearts, vision, everything. He's alive there. Yeah. And he's walking with us as we speak. And a lot of this empire that you're building is going to be dedicated to his contribution to the world.
100%.
100%.
100%. My baby boy stays working for his mummy. He works with me, man.
100%.
You know what? And I'm glad you said that and you identified that, because a part of me being so fearless is literally a contribution of my boy.
Absolutely, Judah.
You know? Yeah,
yes.
Man. That's it. My baby boy, Judah. Oh my gosh. There's a new question that I want to actually start dropping in this podcast.
Yeah.
Because obviously the mission is to help people take action and take responsibility for things. Yes. So I'm going to ask you first, which I know it's probably going to be easy for you to answer, but I guess it lines up everybody else's going to come as well. Yeah. What have you done recently that you're proud of?
You know what, I've been thinking about that, to be honest with you, and I can answer it straight away, to be honest with you. The most recent thing that I would say that I'm so proud of, and I'll go back slightly and then answer it as a conclusion, let the plane land, is that growing up, I've always, and I didn't know how, I didn't know why, I've always admired the so-called Windrush generation. How could these young men and women leave the sun, leave the, most of them came from the Caribbean or via the Caribbean. And also me being born in England, just seeing snow, coldness. I grew up at the time there was National Front, skinheads, mods and what have you, okay? And to see our parents come to a land that they had no connections with, no one here, and decide to come and build a new reality for themselves. Yep. As a young child, I would just watch my mum, my dad, my auntie, my brother, thinking, wow, what was that like? Yeah. That's like walking into the unknown. And a harsh unknown. Yeah. And to see what they achieved out of it. So in answer to your question, one of my greatest achievements is to be able to follow their footsteps. And moving to the Gambia, me and my beloved, we knew not one person in Gambia. We had no friends in Gambia. We had nothing in Gambia. But we went on there for a 10-day holiday. And as soon as I landed at the airport, I said, this is it. I've always looked, every time, and one thing I promised myself, my queen, is that I promised myself from years ago, go to a new country every year that you've never been to before.
Love that.
That is one of my policies.
Love it.
I don't care where it is. It could be Ireland. It could be Thailand. Yeah. It could be Barbados. It could be St. Lucia. It could be. So every year of my life, I went to a new country. And in the back of my mind, the question was, could I live here?
This is why you're my inspiration, you know. You get answering certain things I got going on in my life, literally. So you continue and I'm going to try it after. Yeah.
It was, could I live here? When I landed in the Gambia, before I left the airport, I said, this is it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
You know, my parents were Jamaican. I loved Jamaica, traveling to Jamaica, went to Jamaica so many times and But it didn't click to me, I could live here. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to Gambia, I saw Jamaica, but in Africa. Right. I saw people calling me brother, sister from the airport. Right. I had military, I had airport police with rifles saying, oh, brother, can you just go? Huh? I've not seen that before in my life. Yeah. By the time I got to the airport, I said, me and my wife looked at each other and said, this is it. This is it. Within that first 10 days, we bought land. Mm-hmm. Just land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to cut that long story short and answer your question is that outside of, you know, being a father and have my children, now the greatest achievement is that I've managed to follow my mum and dad's footsteps. I actually live, and I have to preach I live in Africa.
I love that.
So when I come here, I'm a tourist now.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually been teaching about Africa history, culture, but no, hold a minute. I now live here. I've got friends in Africa. I've got, you know, we've got a community in Africa from the UK and I'm a part of it. And as I said, you know, that to me is recent, as I say, this is only the last few years, is my greatest achievement that I've actually established myself in the motherland. And it's something that I never knew I would ever be able to do.
I love that. Amazing. No, I love it. You know what? Because it's like, I know I have a calling to the motherland.
Wow.
And I've had it for a very long time. And even prior to my calling to the motherland, I've had a calling to get off this island.
Yes.
I just knew I needed to get out of the UK. I was like, I don't know where I'm going.
Same here.
I need to get off this here island.
That was
madness.
That was me.
And then as I continued to travel, the first country in the motherland I went to was Angola.
Oh, wow.
Angola.
Oh, wow.
If there's a place, it's not so much the place, if there's a people I fell in love with, was Angola.
I've never been there.
Oh, you need to go.
Oh my God, I've never been there. Now you're sending it to me.
Let me tell you about it. Let me just share with the world. Meet me in Angola. First, as I say, first place in the motherland I went to was Angola. The day I had to leave Angola and get on my plane, the wickedest piece of barley I put down. You know when you're barling so much that you know you're making bubbles. Yes. I committed to the barling. That's how much I didn't want to leave Angola. Amazing, literally. And that I feel like Angola changed my life, because even just on another note, when as the plane was exiting the Africa period, I don't know which part of the coast it came up into the Mediterranean. I felt it. I felt the energy shift from the Africa to the Mediterranean. That was powerful for me. Powerful. Literally.
Powerful.
So, you know, so then there's Angola. Then I've returned and I've been to Ghana twice.
I've been to Ghana.
And the second time I went to Ghana, I went with my pops.
Yes.
And I went with
that's beautiful.
Yeah, me and my dad did a
that is beautiful.
Dad and daughter vacation. Because my dad's a busy person, he was just on we need to create this business here. He's this type. People, as I said to people, I'm the mild version of my father. Literally. So my dad was there like, we need to do this. Yes. And then we went as far as, went past Kumasi and just further up, and there's actually like a British community up there, and they've got a waterfall and blah, blah, blah. Wow. So I said to say, we was considering like moving and living there and bringing another family and stuff. Yes. Anyway, that just hasn't manifested yet. It may manifest in the future, but it hasn't manifested yet. And then the last place up until date that I've been to in Africa is Egypt. Once again, I'm like, if there's anywhere on planet Earth that everybody needs to reach,
100%.
it's Egypt. And I'm not
100%.
talking
That's
Sharm
right.
el-Sheikh and
No,
Hurghada, because we're just going to sit in the resorts. No.
That's right, no.
I'm talking about
Yes.
we need to go and touch a pyramid.
That's right.
Go into the tombs.
That's right.
Valley of the Kings.
That's right.
Etc. I did the length of the Nile.
You got to Aswan?
Yeah, I did the whole country
Yes.
from Alexandria.
Abu Simbel.
I went to Abu
Yes.
Simbel.
Yes.
And I said the true Nubians. the
That's
few who were
right.
left.
People don't know.
Yeah, I did the whole
right.
length, and I say because I did down
Yes.
the Nile. We did a cruise down the Nile.
Yes.
Sleeping on the Nile.
Yes.
Son.
Yes.
Dreams that I could never even share with the world.
That's
when I say
right.
there was different kind of spiritual things happening in Egypt.
100%. You do know we're doing an Egypt trip in 2 months' time, 3 months' time.
I didn't know I would have joined you. But the one you do next one, I'll return. I will return.
Just to back up what you're saying, that's all. Just to back up what you're saying.
Egypt is next level.
100%.
I'm thankful that my level of fast that was in certain tombs we went off the guided beaten track.
Great.
Bossing corners. Yeah, bossing corners, and you're seeing some different things.
Yes.
But the key thing that we were seeing was our faces that are untouched,
100%.
that are around corners. They're not taking the tourists around there.
Yes.
And we've seen some things.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do this episode on Egypt. just go.
Just go.
Just go.
If you haven't been, promise yourself that. Yes.
Just go. And,
Yes.
and it will.
Yes.
It's going to shift things. But you have to go with your eyes open. Because when you start seeing the mess that they're going on with it's certain things, like in Valley of the Kings in itself,
Yes.
you see the original tomb.
That's
and then
right.
you see
Then
the
you
ones
still
where
notice-
somebody's come along
someone's
with some
come
paint.
recently. Exactly.
And it's crazy because when you're in the bus and they're like, oh, which was your favourite
Yes.
tombs?
Yes.
Other people were
Yes.
calling out the ones that have blatantly had
Yes.
some cartoonists just come in.
Thank you.
And I'm
You
like,
see them. Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. 100%. But what was beautiful about that, because I went to, the first time I went to Egypt, which we know the proper name is Kemet.
Yes.
One of the first times I went was back in 1995. We'd done a tour. From the time I landed, I said, again, this is it. I've got to come. And we went every year after that. We've done tours every year after that. As you said, going down from Cairo, down the River Nile to Aswan and Luxor, and all the beautiful temples and whatever. Okay. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that, because I've done Egypt now. At least I've done at least 13, 14 tours out there.
Incredible.
No, but check this one out now. Check this one out. We had a young sister that attended our after school. Yeah. Yeah. This before we done the West Side Young Leaders Academy. We ran a small after school in Harlesden High Street. Yeah. And we had a young sister that was born in Jamaica. Her mum and dad, or her mother, brought her over. They lived in Harlesden, and they came to our after school club. She was there for a few years. She's in year 6. Yeah, so that's about 10 years old. 10 years old. That year we done a tour to Egypt, Kemet, and her and her mother said, we want to go. Yeah, okay. She came with us, and hear this now. They came with us. We took them down to the Valley of the Kings. We took them down to Ramesses III temple. Okay. That's where the hieroglyphics are really deep set into the wall. And in that temple, you see the origin of what they call the Olympic Games. They were doing the Olympic Games in Egypt thousands of years before what they'd done in Greece. You saw all the templates doing martial arts, javelin, it's literally, that's what when you got that term, it's written in stone. Yes. So this can't be played with. Yes. This is Ramesses. Yeah. Before there was a place called Greece. Yeah. They were doing the Olympic Games. Yeah, in stone. Okay. This sister, young sister, was so blown when we took her there. And I got literally pictures of her inside the Ramesses II temple, like just touching hieroglyphics. She was just amazed by the architecture. And she says, Brother Andrew, I can't believe, we try to teach our young people the world is bigger than Harlesden. It's bigger than Brent. 100%. When she came back, she said, when she's there, she said, in that temple to me, Brother Andrew, I can't believe what we were building. I want to be an architect. She came back. That was in year 6.
I love that.
As I'm talking to you right now, She's in one of the top architecture companies in London.
Amazing.
She done a master's. She done from that one trip. That's why it's so important that our young people are exposed to pre-slavery.
Yes.
Because if we say to most black people, what do you know about black history? They start with slavery.
Right, yeah.
But she was exposed in real time to touch, as you said, we've got to touch the pyramids, we've got to touch the temple. She was touching them.
Yep.
In year 10 from Jamaica, year 10, today, she's a living architect. And guess what? It gets even better than that. She designed my house that I'm living in. So you imagine, full circle from year 10, one of our year to years later, she's designing Brother Andrew's house in Africa.
Incredible. You must be so proud. I love that.
So proud.
I love that.
So proud.
You know what? It's actually, since we're speaking about Egypt, because as I said, I got so much messages and things while I was there. And when I was specifically in the museum in Cairo, obviously all the mummies are in there.
Yes.
There's so many things. But my thing, obviously, they've disrupted the tombs to take the mummy out and put it in the museum.
Yes.
And for me, it just felt it felt so intrusive. Because if you think about the mission or the intention that they had when they were doing everything they were doing for their ceremonies, in terms of how they laid their people to rest and everything that they believed in and were cultivating.
Yes.
And a bunch of people just come along thousands of years later, dig you up and put you in a glass box. It felt like you're kind of putting people in a level of purgatory because you're blocking.
Absolutely.
You're blocking what they were intending spiritually.
Absolutely, dear. Yeah.
No, that just came to me because that was something that occurred to me when I was there, and I haven't had a chance to even talk to somebody about it because. And
the same thing when you go to the British Museum. You never go to know that literally our people that built the pyramids, built the temples, who refer to themselves as Nubians or Nubians, which comes from the land of Nubia, which was a very ancient. They call it the land of the gods, to be buried. Remember, we say rest in peace. But now you can go to the British Museum where there is no peace.
No, man, you
see their bodies for everyone to literally gawk at.
Yeah.
The spiritual path, as you just said, has been cut asunder.
Yeah.
We must say that how many countries around the world are asking the British, and the British Museum is one of the most famous in the world. Yeah. We want our people returned. We want our artifacts returned.
Right.
And they said no. Point blank, no. We hold on to them. So that's what we're talking about. That's our ancestors. We refuse to return back.
Yeah, they're justifying their theft. It's
Absolutely. Blatant theft. But these are the things, Alicia, these are the things that our mission, especially in our education of young people, that's one of the reasons why we had to set up an academy. And our academies are not schools, they are leadership academies. These are things that these kind of discussions we're having now, they're not going to be able to have these discussions in school. Right. Teachers ain't going to know what we're talking about. Teachers ain't even gone to Kemet and, gone the path that you've been blessed to go down the River Nile. So the teachers are not qualified to teach them something about their real history, their real identity, who their culture is. Yeah. And if they're not going to do it, and we can't blame them for not doing it, we in our own community must do it.
I'm going to say something very controversial now, and you have every right to correct me.
No,
I'm going to be that person.
Please.
One of the times we went to Ghana and we went to Kwame Nkrumah's museum.
Okay.
I got upset when I went there because the standards were not what we needed in terms of preservation. The car is still outside under the sun, burning out the car, dusty.
How many years ago did you go?
That was 10 years this year.
I can tell you a little bit of good news on what you just said there.
Please do.
I was there just last year.
Yeah.
The car's inside.
Oh, give thanks.
And looks immaculate now.
Okay, give thanks.
So I'm not going to stop you, but I'm just trying to say
that's good.
That's one piece of good news you've got. Because I know I've been there.
I needed to know that.
Yes.
Because also, and then going inside and the deep smell of chemicals and things like that. I was like,
preservation of our history.
In terms of us, I get the gripe of our things being in the Louvre and British Museum and wherever. The thieves, call out the thieves. Yeah, your teeth into people's teeth.
Level of preservation. I know what you're saying. Yes. I know what you're going to say.
They're preserving the teeth at the same time. So as much as it's not under our care, and it's like, but the teeth are actually looking after it. There's not no crazy chemicals.
Yes.
It's maintained beautifully.
Yes.
And so I feel like as much as and their teeth and they said they're not returning it, I'm like, can we?
Yes.
It is a different conversation that maybe could happen type of thing.
Yes.
More in the lines of and not specifically licensing then because they're looking after it, they're caretaking the stuff, but at the same time you shouldn't own it because you're a thief. The ownership needs to come back. I'm like,
I hear what you're saying.
That's just me controversial.
No, and it's not controversial. You've made a very good point, to be honest with you.
Right.
And one thing I've learned going around the world, that the European, and especially the British, one thing that they can do is preserve.
Right.
And preserve it on such a level that it's honoured. I can't lie. I'll be a fool to argue with you on that level. I've seen it myself, and I've seen when I've gone to our own lands where you think in England you would not be allowed to do that, man.
Right.
You can't go over there. You should not be able to touch that.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I do hear what you're saying on that score, and I believe that we are moving on that level now of preservation and learning how to preserve our history. One thing I would say, because I was at the Kwame Museum last year, the Nkrumah Museum last year, it's gone on to another level.
Oh, glad.
Oh my God.
Glad to hear that.
It was one of the best African museums I've ever been to.
I'm glad.
And I'm telling you, no chemical smells. The way I was so blown when I went there, I went, oh my, we can do it. This is it. There was television screens and this, that. I just said, wow.
I needed to hear that.
No, I'm telling you now, I was so blown. I said, this is it. They preserved, they honored it. It was quality. But I could see that it was all new.
Good.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's been totally refurbished and whatever, okay?
Yeah.
But the respect for the history was 100% there. It set the standards to me. When I went to the Kunta Kinte Museum in Gambia, like what you just said there, I was amazed by the lack of respect.
Yeah.
It's this, look, back in 1977, I was a teenager. And back in 1977, it was my first opening and glimpse that, hold a minute, I'm African. And you know how that started? There was a program called Roots.
Oh yeah.
Alex Haley.
Yep.
When that came out in the UK in 1977, black youth looked at each other and said, that's our history? Because all we knew is Jamaica. You know what I'm trying to say? Or it was Bayesian or whatever. We realized, oh my God, that's our ancestors. And I remember that was the opening. So, cut a long story short, decades later, now I'm actually at Kunta Kinte Island.
Right.
I'm there, I'm at Jufore.
Yeah.
This is the village of Kunta Kinte. Yeah. And when I went to the museum, I said, oh my God, that wasn't a museum. There was blue tack on the wall and
stuff.
I was blown.
Yeah.
I was blown.
Yeah.
I said, until we can honor our history.
This is it.
And that's why I said, I can't argue with you when you just said that.
This is it.
Until we know how to honor our history, then we can't really
we can't
make
order
up too
it
much
back.
noise.
We can't order it back because when
even though morally it's ours and it should be returned because you teeth it and X, Y, Z. But we've got to create institutions.
Where are you putting it?
Exactly, that can look after it, preserve. Because if not, someone's going to teeth this, teeth that. Next week goes missing. It's in a private collection in the president's house. And So you're right on that score. We've got to learn how to preserve our history. But again, that's not by accident. That was done by design.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, sister? We were never taught in the education system, and it's done purposely, how to honor who we are.
Yeah. Definitely.
Honor our history. In fact, in most countries, black countries, and in the Caribbean, one part of the curriculum that was always missing was history. History was not a part of the curriculum. So how are you going to honor that which you don't know nothing about?
Indeed, it's true.
You know what I'm trying to say? So there's a whole process that we've got to go through. And it's people like you.
And you.
No, I'm going to beat you to it. It's people like you that's doing. Because you see, Alicia, what you're doing, believe me, girl, where you're going with this podcast and the potential behind it is that if you keep your eye on that prize and keep pushing and keep focused on your I'll use the word empire, not business, your empire that you're creating, one podcast could be worth 1,000 speeches by people like me. That's the power where you're going with this.
Wow.
You're taking it to a new level. You included technology on a new level now, whereby one podcast will be seen by millions. One.
Right.
And the influence that you and the seeds that you can plant in that one podcast, I'll have to be running all over the world, doing different meetings and doing different this.
Yeah. This
is why it's so important. This is why I'm actually here. Because I believe in you and I believe in your vision. And I think that this could be a lifesaver for brothers and sisters in the future. Real talk.
No pressure.
You're born with pressure. and as the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us this, you've got a million stories you could tell. Yeah? Just on how you arrived at this point here.
Sure.
And the pressure that you've already been under and the stress and everything that you've had to endure. But we're taught by nature that how are diamonds created?
The pressure.
Diamonds are created deep, deep, deep down.
Yeah.
And it's intense pressure that produces something so unique, so precious, but what? So durable, so hard. It takes a diamond to cut a diamond. You understand it there?
Yeah.
And where you're going, what I'm seeing, beloved, you'll be made into a diamond. That's all.
See, don't make me cry again. But
No, but
I received that. I think
you've been made into a diamond. If you study your life, you are being made into a diamond.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to shift the energy before I start boiling upon the show. I received that. Thank you so much.
Respect there.
Tell us about your academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the Young Leaders Academy. We started approximately 24, 25 years ago. It was the brainchild of a brother that was and is so dear to me, Ray Lewis. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful brother. He was and 25 years ago, there were 5 black prison governors in the UK. 5. He was one of them.
Okay.
And he said, Brother Andrew, I'm the governor. I run this prison. And he said, all I'm seeing in front of me are black youth.
Right.
He said, walking through his prison was like walking through the Caribbean.
Wow.
Just black.
Right.
And he said, am I a prison governor or am I a slave master?
Wow.
Am I just in charge of this plantation?
Wow.
So he said, what can I do to pitch my tent, not at the bottom of the hill, but at the top of the hill?
Right.
What can I do to get to the youth before they are at the bottom in society? And he's been wrangling that thought in his mind as a prison governor. And one day he said he was just watching the Oprah Winfrey show and he saw a young man on her show talking about his work in the inner city. And now he's built academies that are now putting his students into university, the top colleges and X, Y, Z. And the fact that he's on the Oprah Winfrey show, he had to be successful.
Right.
And as I said earlier on, Ray Lewis then flew out there. He asked me to come out there and we came back and he said, Andrew, I'd like you to help me build our first academy. And I was with him in East London and we built it and it was just phenomenal. Seeing young boys becoming young men. We started with just young boys.
Right.
It was a boys only academy. It was amazing. Honestly, I could bring back the times and I'll just think back in it. We had a very strict discipline curriculum.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what was so beautiful, that academy is really run by black men.
Yeah.
Because these young boys are going to schools where it's just women.
Yes.
And they feel like they've been mothered or been moaned at and X, Y, Z. They had no men, black men, strong black men. And so we realized that the same madness that they may be doing in the schools, when they came to our academy, they were like gentle giants.
Right.
They wanted that love.
Yeah.
They wanted someone to be disciplined with them. Don't just do whatever you want to do.
That's it.
Brother, come here.
Yeah.
Brother, do this.
Yeah.
They actually wanted it.
They do. Yeah.
And we had, a lot of the youth that were in so-called gangs and XYZ. And in a short space of time, we turned them around and they became men of valor.
Love it.
Young men. And Ray Lewis had phenomenal, I don't know how we done it, political contacts and business contacts. So we was able to put them into top companies for their work experience. We were able to get them into scholarships into Eton, rugby, King Edwards. These are these are the ones which is like 50,000 a year to go to.
Yes.
You see, I'm trying to say, we brought them in there and we made sure we had a pastoral service that made sure that they didn't lose themselves inside there.
Yeah.
They came back. So it was amazing success. And then Ray opened one up in South London, and then that was a success. And then he said to me, Brother Andrew, I'd like to start one up in West London. I would like you to be the head of West London. So I went over to West London and we set up our one at Capital City Academy, which is in Harlesden, Willesden sides. And again, phenomenal. And then, as I said, it started to grow, mushroom to different places. And then we said at that time, it's right time now, because the black male was really what I see was the main, I don't want to use the word reason, but there was a conspiracy to destroy black boys, I would say.
Definitely.
More so.
Yeah.
And the black woman couldn't find a good black man because they've been destroyed. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we got to a stage where we said, yes, it's time now to bring the sisters in now. You know what I'm trying to say? And I really got to thank a lot of the mothers and the sisters, because it may have looked male chauvinistic initially. Why is only black boys can go to your academy? But we was doing it, there was a mission.
I can see the mission without even having to ask.
Okay.
So I get it. Yeah.
You get it?
Makes sense.
Yes. And so it's many, many, many years later that sisters then came in, and our doors are open to all brothers and sisters across our academies. But the thing is, when you allow the sisters in, they don't play. They take it and they run with it. So the boys have to have a good 15-year head start. I'm not joking, because our sisters don't play.
Right.
When they see something and they want it, like yourself, you know what I mean? The black woman don't play. Out of the most entrepreneurial, and they've done studies, not me saying it, they've done studies, and I've got the newspaper cuttings that I saved. The most entrepreneurial person on planet Earth is the black woman. Not just black people, black women are more entrepreneurial. When you study our parents, it's the woman. That's the foundation in our communities, in church or wherever it may be. They're the ones that come out and they push the black man and say, look, come on, do this or come here. And we're a bit more laid back. You know what I'm trying to say? But the black woman, and I saw it in my mother, especially, had the entrepreneurial spirit. And that's what we found, that once we allowed our sisters into the academy, they flipped it.
Yep.
They flipped it on new levels, man. And that still applies till today.
Love that.
So as I say, now academy is based on our curriculum is based on 4 main points.
Yeah.
The first is history. History, culture, history, identity.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Makes sense.
Okay. As I said, the Honourable Marcus Garvey said, we are like trees. If you see a tree that has no roots, it's a dead tree.
Right.
And that's us.
Yeah.
When you look at a lot of our youth, our sisters and our brothers today, a lot of the madness you see them getting onto, I promise you, they have lost their true identity as a people. And you can't blame them, no one's giving it to them.
Yeah.
Their roots are not grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that I failed all my exams at school. But once my brother gave me as a Christmas present a Malcolm X book, the lights were just turned on. Yeah. I could not stop reading. I wanted to read. And one of the things that Malcolm X said in that book, he said, and it goes back to what you said earlier on, he said, Egypt was our granddaughter. A daughter, not even a daughter, a granddaughter. We had civilization before Egypt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, I read that in the book. I said, Malcolm, you liar. Because I'm just new into this.
Yes.
This is my first Malcolm X book. I called him a liar. I said, these black people love to talk some stupidness, trying to massage their ego. Because I didn't know nothing. So I said, you know what? Somebody said to me, I'm going to prove this man's lying. Because Egypt has nothing to do with Africa. Egypt's in the Middle East. Showing you my ignorance.
Right.
See, we boast in being ignorant. Sis, please believe me. I got an atlas, an encyclopedia, just to prove that black people are lying to each other. And I looked up Egypt. Sis, that was my wake-up call.
Right.
Egypt wasn't near Africa, it was bang Africa.
Yeah.
Bang Africa, Northeast Africa. But you see, all my life I was told that Africa, Egypt was Middle East. I've never heard anyone say that Egypt is African. I'm talking about the level of ignorance I've gone through all of my school period, not knowing. But I was boasting that we're lying. That was my wake-up call. I said, if I've gone through the whole of my school, 11 years of schooling, and didn't even know that Egypt was in Africa, what else don't I know?
Right.
Hence why they call me the investigator.
I love it.
That was my wake-up call, to start investigating things for myself. Don't listen to what other people tell you, investigate. So when I found out that Egypt, so that Malcolm X talked about our civilizations, it made me hungry to learn. I couldn't turn it off after that. I just wanted to learn. My friends went out raving. They thought I'd gone crazy.
Yeah.
I stayed in
Love it.
all night and had encyclopedias, dictionaries, books, and I was screaming with excitement, things I didn't know, and they must thought I was mad because they were out raving. I'm at home looking up things and excited. Oh my God, I didn't know about this, I didn't know that. So I went back to college with that new mind. Alicia, I'm not trying to boast there. I challenged them to give me an exam that I couldn't get an A, distinction. I challenged them because now I love learning.
Yeah.
The same boy who went to year 11, left school with 0 exam success. I stayed on sixth form for an extra year, not because I wanted to, because all my friends were in sixth form.
Okay.
So I'm playing table tennis all day. I'm playing blackjack and dominoes, you know what I'm saying? That was my sixth form.
Okay.
So I left sixth form, failed all my exams.
Okay.
But that's when I found Malcolm X. The following years, sis, every study I've done, I got distinctions in.
Love it.
And that just showed me that I was not stupid. I was not non-academic. You understand? So I thought to myself, how many other young people are going through school, failing exams, thinking that I'm just not academic, I'm just no good.
It's your esteem.
That's the word.
It's just your esteem, literally. Yeah.
That's self-esteem. Remember I told you earlier on, I went through school with 0 self-esteem.
Yeah.
I didn't know why. So in my academy, going back to your point here, my academy, history is number 1. Number 2 is financial literacy. Because we live in a world of finance. Sis, me and you and many others, we've been taught Henry VIII, this, that, oh yeah, do this. But when we leave school, the next day, it's all about finance.
Yep. Yeah.
No one prepared us.
This is it.
How do you open a bank account?
Right.
How do you not get into debt? Shares, accountancy. We live in a world of finance.
Right.
No matter what we do, we need to know about finance. So we said, you know what? Don't let the children leave school like us and not know how not to get into debt.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we, in the academy, we do a lot of financial literacy.
Yeah.
One of our directors, David, he's one of the best in the UK teaching young people about financial literacy. He's employed in private schools and that kind of thing. He belongs to us. He's one of our directors. So we teach them, we do Dragon Den competitions with them, put them into teams, how to create, bring in, great black businessmen and women in our community to come and do lectures on them about business and whatever, okay? So that's number 2. Is financial literacy. Number 3 is social skills. Social skills in the sense of who they are from within.
Right.
How to conduct themselves in social environments. How to maintain respect for mum and dad. The power to say thank you and please. How to keep a door open for a sister. These are small things that cost nothing in life, but honestly, Alicia, could make you into a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Could separate you from all your friends.
Definitely.
So we teach them about social etiquette, the soft skills and the hard skills. You know what I mean? How to eat at a dinner reception. So we teach them the social skills, soft skills. And then lastly, we then teach them about debating skills.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it sounds, but no, I'll call it expression, which includes debating, for example, how to construct arguments, poetry, rap, how to, because many a times you see, and I'll talk it from a male perspective, many a times you see a black man end up in a fight, whether it's with a sister or with another brother, because he's lost the ability to articulate his arguments.
This is it.
Articulate his expression.
Yes.
And if you can't articulate, the next stage is, let me fight.
Yeah.
So we teach them how to study, how to debate, how to construct arguments. You know what I'm trying to say?
I love that, yeah.
So they are the 4 cornerstones of our academy. But then outside of that, and that's the foundation, outside of that, we have what's called Fit to Lead. So on those days in the curriculum, you know, it's like many of our youth today, they just sit in front of a computer. Yeah. They have no idea about their bodies and how it works and what have you. So on the Fit to Lead program, to be a leader, you need to be fit enough to be a leader. So we may bring in, they may on that day do boxing, they may do karate, they may do dance. Yeah. It's a whole range, ballet. Yeah, we take them out of their comfort zone, you know? Yeah. So on those days, and then we have another program called Leaders Serve, because the best leader is one who serves their community. So on that part of the curriculum, we take them to old people's homes.
Love it.
You know, sit down with them. Just have conversations, just have a talk to them, play dominoes with them, do their gardening for them. You know what I'm trying to say? Fix up certain things in their rooms for them. You know, it's old people's homes, black old people's homes. So they do Leaders Serve, and that's bringing them back into the community. We may do days whereby we have a whole lot of box lunches. We take them down to Waterloo or whatever to feed the homeless. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? It's about that spirit of giving. Not leadership ain't about, I'm at the front, I'm at the podium, and I'm telling everyone what to do. No,
lead by example.
Exactly. You serve that community, and that will make you into the great leader that we're looking for.
I love that. I love it, because these are things that just sit so deep in my heart as well. When I see, like, I love all our people, but the generations that move me in different ways is definitely young people.
Young people.
And I love old people.
Yes, they're the two.
You know, like, if there's a relation, and there's a specific, this is specific to me, a relationship that brings me to tears is when I see a grandchild with their grandparent and the bond. It brings me to tears because I had such a beautiful relationship with my grandparents.
See, I'm jealous of you now. No, I'm being 100% serious, because I grew up not knowing any of my grandparents. Remember, my parents came in from Jamaica.
Yes.
So literally, I never saw my mum or my grandparents on my dad's side at all.
Wow.
They died or passed away before, I had a chance to meet them. And on my mother's side, I was blessed to be able to, before she passed away, meet my grandmother. My granddad passed away on my mother's side, but I managed, and I hugged her because I didn't have what you had. You know what I'm trying to say? So when I wasn't even laughing, I'm serious. See, and I want you to go back to that, sis. You know what, beloved? It's something that I know that it's hard for white people to appreciate in the UK, what it feels like to grow up with no grandparents.
Right.
Because I remember being at school, and when it came to like dinner time, for example, I'll see my white friends could say, I'm just going down to my grandparents for because they would allow you to go out for, so after school, they would go to I'm going to my grands. Me and my other black friends, we could not say that. We never ever met our grandparents.
Wow.
Never knew them.
See what you just said about the English people, that was actually my reality.
See?
Because my school was round the corner from Nan and Granddad's house. So I spent more time in Nan and Granddad's house than my mum's house.
That's how it's meant to be.
Literally, like, it got to a point, I think there was a window of a few years, I literally had a bedroom at Nan and Granddad's house because it's just like, why am I even bothering to go home?
See that?
Stay at Nan and Granddad's.
Can you imagine?
Literally.
But can you imagine if you never had that experience? Never. That someone could never say what you've just said.
Them people. It's more like my 2 grandmothers and my one granddad. I had my other granddad as well, but we didn't have that type of relationship. But I can definitely say major foundations in who I am as a human, as a person, and how I show up in this world is literally Goldie Mullings, Brian Mullings, and Joyce Williams. my grandparents, I am who I am because of them. Like, and my fondest memories of my childhood, I'm seeing one of them faces. Like,
look at that.
Yeah, and the little things in terms of my safety with men, especially how people would see me. They could see me as a I don't know, a pick me, as a word that you use in modern times.
Yes.
But I will say this is why I stand so hard for black men as well, specifically. Because the people who dropped the foundation of me feeling safe in this world, I can definitely say was my maternal granddad, Mr. Brian Mullings, rest in peace.
Deep. Rest in peace.
To the point where, as I said to you, my son's name, his middle name was my granddad's name.
I remember you said that.
That's how deep it was.
Yes.
And I shared, here's the thing, here's a sharing moment where it still runs deep in how I show up today. I remember when I was maybe about 7-ish, and I was at Nana Granddad's house and ramping. So I was running around the house in my nightie. My granddad clocked me. He said, Alicia, go and put on your house coat. And as a little girl, I'm going to listen to him because my granddad, the way he was so firm, he told me to go and put on my house coat. So when I put on my house coat, because granddad told me to, I didn't know why. Yeah. Because I feel so safe in this environment and I'm with my family, I'm just living my best life. It's only when I've become a woman, I said, that moment right there is so deep. He dropped something so deep in me, in my identity. Yes. In protecting yourself. How you show up. How you're around men as a female, and especially as a little girl. Yes. So as much as he knew I was safe with him, I know that, but he was preparing you up for your future. For something to drop in my brain. Modesty, all them things. Yes. And that's just one of many things. Look at that. Of how important that relationship was. And then my nan, there's a whole load of things with my nan as well. And the gems that my grandmothers have dropped in me. And now even just the fact of that's how it's meant to be. You know, how much I love where we're from as well. You know, my first time I went to Jamaica I was about 3, because my nan made sure that we're going back. And granted, I know that's not for everyone because of finances and things like that. But fortunately, my nan and granddad did enough in the work that they were doing that they could afford to take me as a baby. But spiritually, my identity, my pride, my love for where we're from, who we are as a people, who I look in the mirror and who I see, everyone around me, and the list goes on. Comes from them. I have such and I see the difference in me. I feel like I have more of a love for home than probably even my parents. Yes. And I'm the grandbaby. Look at that. You know? Yes. Yeah. I was on my mission to go and get my unconditional stamp in my passport for Jamaica. But I'm saying it, you know, I'm like, I don't want that link to be broken, because after me, it can be broken. So as a side note, anybody who is second generation from whichever country you're from, make sure you've got your paperwork lined up in terms of your passport or citizenship. Because when your children come along, if you don't do the paperwork from now, you no longer have an actual connection. Just as a side note. Fantastic note. Yeah. Fantastic note. Yeah, so I was like, it needs to be done. And I'll get somebody on this show who can 100% break all of that down as well at some stage. But it just shows what you just said there. But can you imagine a whole nation, a whole community of people that have not got the memories that you've got? Because that was all me and my friends. I wasn't the only one. It was all of us. And I was in a better position than most of them, because at least I still had my mum and dad together. Yeah. I grew up, and I didn't even think about it in school. It's only late, you know, it's only when you leave school, you do a post-mortem. Oh yeah, looking back at all my friends, they all grew up to be great men. I looked at and realised, single mothers. So not only did they not have grandparents, you don't compound it. There's one thing not having a father in the house, or vice versa, a mother in the house. But if you've got your grandparents, and at least you got that second chance of being loved. Yeah. Whilst your parents are too busy working, you know what I'm trying to say? 100%. So that was the generation I grew up with. There was that, you know, we none of us had stories about grandparents. Wow.
And 99% of us never had even a father in the house.
Wow.
You know what I'm trying to say? So you got to think about the mental gymnastics you got to grow up with. You know what I mean? When you got white children, and now I can see you're one of the privileged ones that could literally leave school and go to your grandparents. And that's why when you said
and
that,
it was a privilege.
and that's why I wasn't joking. I said, sister, I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And I think the culture was different in different parts of the country as well, though, because I feel like somewhat as a nuance in the culture, in London to Birmingham, we held on to community and culture
100%, still till today. Still till today.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking it for granted, but I see the difference of the fact that I can talk so beautifully and boldly about family, and it's not even just immediate family. Like second cousins. I know these people. That's why I'm like, it's like a sad truth that I have to share, and I have to kind of tell people about at work who are more English people don't understand it. I'm like, at my age, I've been to over 30 funerals, including my own child. And I'm like, it's not even like it's just somebody I know. No, this is close people to me, because our community is so huge. Yeah. You know, you're loving a lot of people, but then you're going to lose a lot of people. And especially Nan and Granddad's generation. These are not, just a relative. This is my family. When I was growing up, I'm rolling with Nan and Granddad. Wherever we're out, Granddad's going to go and see his brethren, his cousin, and I'm with him as the baby. So I'm going to know all my granduncles. I'm going to know all my grandaunts. I'm going to know all my second cousins and them, etc. You know? So and these are just beautiful things. It's a shame that it's lost now and it's been lost.
And that's I was waiting for you to go through that, because I was saying, sister, the sad thing is that's dying. Yeah. That's dying.
Yeah. And I see so much value in it now because it's dying. When I moved to London many moons ago, I remember when they say your body keeps the score, Sunday will come around and I would say, I'm here, I'm on my own. And I'm like, my body's so used to 4 o'clock being around the dinner table with my family, standard. That when that's not happening anymore, it's like, wow. And then when I talk to my London friends and it's actually not a norm for them, I was like, oh, that's something you lot do up there in the Midlands. It's not so normal for us. I'm like, I went into shock. I had to go and drive. I went driving around trying to find Caribbean food shop. I ended up in Halston trying to find dinner. I all the rest of it because my body was like, what is happening?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Your body tells the stories, beloved.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of this now is gone, and I think that is one of the key reasons for a lot of dysfunctionality that's taking place in our community. That bond, that network in that community, it's gone to such an extent now where you can't even, for some areas, you can't even go to another area. I'm talking for youth. You can't even, you're afraid to go to that next corner because you're not a part of that corner.
It's a shame, man.
No, I'm never a part of our reality.
And the thing is, majority, everyone's family as well. I had a lady talk to me the other day and she said there was 2 young guys in rival gangs. I don't know what happened. I think somebody died and I think they went to the funeral. And they're both at the same funeral. And it's like, now that's your cousin.
That's your cousin. And it is true. I had a situation whereby one of my nephews, I should say, the cousin stroke nephew, was seen as a quote unquote growing up to be like a bit of a bad boy in the area. A friend of mine said to me, "Oh, Andrew, can you come down because your nephew is troubling my son," or whatever it may be, okay? They're both young teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So I said, of course, I'm coming straight down, you know what I'm saying? I said, bring them down to my mum's place in Walthamstow, bring them down there, and we'll make sure this is sorted out. When they both came down, honestly, beloved, it was like they weren't blood cousins, but they were cousins because the mother that called me and said, Andrew, can you come down? She near enough grew up in our house. You know what I mean? She was like a sister in our family. She'd sit down, have dinner, she's had a son, and these 2 boys, warring each other, not realizing that they were near enough cousins to each other. When they realized we put them together, the beef was blessed straight away.
Yeah, same with the story I just shared.
Nothing happened after that day. And I'm thinking, how much is this happening? We just need to bring our young together. They don't know about the family history of our communities.
That's what I was going to say. That's the work that we need to continue to do, is just bringing them together.
100%. And you see, the only time that to be honest with you though, the only time we seem to be coming together as a community now is what you just said, on funerals. And I keep saying, when I meet my old friends back in the day, we keep saying to each other, don't let it be funeral that brings us back together again. Every time we only meet each other, what happens? Everyone goes in their different directions, live their different lives. Then we hear that so-and-so's passed away, we're back together again.
Yeah.
Funerals is the new rave now. It's what brings us together.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, because once upon a time, it was funerals and weddings.
Yes.
It's like, obviously, we know the state of the relationship scene right now.
Female relationships, that's right. We're not getting married. We're not building that community that sticks us together.
Yeah.
I see myself, sister, as someone who's very optimistic about life.
Love it.
I try to be positive. I try to have a positive attitude. I try to, when I meet people, wagwan, jeez. And, you do the thing, because and it's not acting.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But at the same time as being someone who I consider myself as someone who's optimistic, at the same time, I can see a time bomb ticking. A time bomb is ticking.
Do you want to expand on that?
The time bomb, sis, we are heading somewhere in our community where it's going to be severe tears and torture in our own community. We are heading somewhere there. Because of my motivational company, Real Talk, Real Action Limited, I've been, I've stopped doing it for a few years now. I have some people that go into schools for me now, because also I'm in the Gambia. But before I left to go to the Gambia, and I'll teach in some of the pupil referral units or schools, mainstream schools in the UK. And what I was realizing, the younger the children, the bigger the time bomb that's ticking.
Right.
There's something that's happening that we're not passing on to our youth. Like back in the day, we had that Caribbean connection. Alicia, go and put your clothes on, or whatever it may be. That is now being dropped. Our diet, our West Indian diet has been dropped.
Right.
That church that brought us together on a Sunday, even if you're a bad man, you're in Sunday school. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Or you have to go shopping with mum. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The things that kept us together, so even the bad men had to go through certain rituals.
Yeah.
We didn't call it rituals, just it was a part of our lives.
Yeah.
That is all going. But what we didn't know, it was teaching us principles about life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's happening now, we're now getting into this such integrated society. You know, we brought into that integrational society whereby, yes, it's good to, being able to have, your different type of friends, but not at the expense of who you are.
Right.
Your individual culture and what's the beauty and the symbolism that goes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so what I find, the more we integrate, the more that we're losing ourself.
Yeah.
And when you lose yourself, you lose your true being of how to relate to people that look like you, how to conduct yourself. And that's what I talk about, the ticking bomb.
Yeah.
I'm seeing youth now that speak to their parents. Like back in the day, if you're rude at school, I'm gonna tell your parents.
Yeah.
You're fixing up. No, tell them. You got parents coming down now, rassing up or cussing up the school in front of their child who's in the wrong.
Right.
What is that teaching a child now? I could be as bad as I want, and no one can say nothing to me until I get to a certain stage whereby, you know what, in life, tell the police now to bring your parents down. They don't give a damn about your parents. They're busting you up. And so our children now, Alicia, something about this time bomb, they've lost, not losing. I would say a lot of them have lost their cultural identity, which was our safety net in society. Not only that though, they're now being diagnosed with ADHD and a whole range of things that they use now as an excuse to say, I can go mad because I'm this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Or I can go mad because I haven't had my medication. Right. I can now swear and cuss up and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And the next stage, I'm talking about this ticking bomb. When I was growing up, and maybe when you was really young, you never had it, social media. Social media can be a life-saving mechanism, like how you're using it, or it could be the destruction to hell. For young people I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see things that you would never have seen before in your life with a touch of a button.
Right.
You can experience things that you've never experienced in your life or you wouldn't have experienced until you reach a certain age.
Yes.
But now you can just touch one button.
Right.
You can get all of those influences.
Yeah.
So young people now seeing things that we had never seen until we were man and woman.
Right.
And was ready to deal with it.
Yeah.
They're seeing it day in and day out.
Yes.
There's nothing new to tell them no more.
Yeah.
That's the ticking bomb.
And they're getting desensitized as
And
well.
desensitized about. At the same time, all this is happening within, the white community are being radicalized against them. They are now being seen as the scapegoat to everything that's wrong in society. You could have your British passport, it doesn't matter. When you're walking down that street, they can't see your British passport. As far as they're concerned, you're an immigrant. You see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
So now we're living in a situation now whereby we are being scapegoated and we don't even see it. We're going around like everyone loves us. And if we are an immigrant, I'm a good immigrant. It doesn't, it's not that. It just takes one person to do one thing wrong and you're going to be blamed. You're blaming the whole. You see what's happening in Belfast right now.
Yeah.
You see what happened last year.
Yeah.
Many of us are falling asleep to what happened just last year in England.
Yep.
So, you know, as I said, I'm an optimistic person, but don't get it twisted. I can see things are just around the corner and it's going to hit hard. And if we're not prepared as a people, if we're not doing what you're saying on this podcast to literally find ways of changing and improving and renewing who we are, if you're not on this podcast, if you're not one of these people that's tuning into this particular queen, then I'm telling you now, it's going to hit us and we are not prepared. The Asian community, don't get it twisted, they are preparing. And they've got their businesses, they've got their mosques, they've got all kind of power bases. The Greek community, the Jewish community, they've got their power bases. Where's the power? Name me one power base for black people where we can run to and say, this is our spot. There's nothing.
It's nothing.
There's nothing, sis. And that's why we're going to get hit harder than anyone else.
I'm like, what? There needs to be a resolution, but I'm like, what do we do? What can we do?
The solution is there. The solution, to be honest with you, Queen, the solution is very simple. And I'll touch on some of the solutions. The solution is very simple. The question is, will we be ready and willing to accept the solution? Are we willing and ready to act on the solutions? Because the people like Malcolm X, the Honourable Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, Minister Farrakhan, we've had people coming left, right and centre giving us all the solutions. The solutions are there.
That's true. That's true.
But what is it going to take for us now to act? Since I've been in the UK, since I was in Africa, to be honest with you, I'm in the people's business. My business is people.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing applies to you. I know you've got a history of fashion, you've done all these great things. But where your empire's now been built is understanding people.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've got to study the people that you're trying to reach.
Yes.
I spend daily studying people. What's the trends? What's the conversations? It's not about what I want to be in the conversation. What are they talking about? I want to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And so I spent hours, Alicia, studying people. And sis, I've been spending years studying young people because that's what I work with. And the young people today, their conversations and what they're into, I know that many mature people, 40 plus, will not believe what our young people are right now. They're gone into the stratosphere. And it's going to take people like yourself, your podcast and whatever, to bring them back in, because where they're gone now, and I don't really want to go into depth into where they are now, it's scary.
Okay.
And they take pride in it.
Right.
So they don't know, they take pride in it.
Right.
Let me put balance. As bad as our condition may be and it's heading towards, believe me, there's a force in nature, and it's mathematical. There's a force in nature that will produce a person or people who is the antidote or the medicine for the extreme condition that we're in. So don't get me wrong, we will be the winners, but it's now, how long is it going to take to produce the person or people that are going to be the solution? That, you know, to be ready to act. fact, it's happening in Africa, in different places. The young are getting more aware. We see what's happening in the Burkina Faso.
Yes.
So I'm trying to say it started in the motherland.
That's it.
It will start here in the UK too.
Yeah.
And I see you as a part of that wave. That's the solution.
Thank you.
Real talk.
Where can people find you? You know what? Because I'm like, no way. I'm seeing the questions that are coming in my brain. I'm like, that's going to take us another 4 hours around here, you know?
Yes,
we have to
yes,
do
yes.
part 2, 3, 4, 5.
We do part 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't worry about that. There's enough time to do different parts. But yes, you can always find me on my particular website is theinvestigator.org.uk. Yeah, theinvestigator.org.uk. That's there 24 hours. You see all the events that we're doing, the different events that we're doing. My academy, you can find us on wyla.co.uk limited, .co.uk, sorry, not limited. That's our Westside Young Leaders Academy. From when you hit that link, it will take you onto our other academies. Yeah, WYLA. Just tap that in, you'll find us. On Facebook, it's Andrew Mohammad, but Mohammad is spelled MUHAMMAD. On Instagram, it's theinvestigator_555. And on Twitter or X, Investigator555.
Love it. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are just, as I said, I feel so honoured.
No, I'm honoured. I'm
orbit.
the chihuahua, and you're the one. I'm just there, a little chihuahua. You're the main attraction.
Thank you so much. You need to be a friend of the podcast, man. I'm like, anytime you touch down, you need to come back. Yeah, man.
Midday.
I love it. And yeah, another incredible episode. I feel so touched and I feel so honoured, as I've said on many a times, but it's so genuine and I'm so sincere. But definitely get in touch with me, the usual places, in the comments. Get in touch with Brother Andrew Mohammad. He will talk to you as well with all the things. Get on his website. Reach out. If you've got children, send them to the academy. Let's take action, as I say. You know, there's people out here who can help. People have set up things already. And if you're somebody who would like to set up something and take action, because you've seen so much inspiration here, I've actually created a course. I'm going to be putting it out on this website. I haven't put it out yet, but I will be launching it within the next few episodes. That's me taking action. That's me taking action to help you take action. So we're all pulling together. We're doing the damn thing. So as usual, stay blessed.